check out my Twitch. My Twitch down below will be linked in the description, and go check out my Twitter. If you guys want to check out my Twitter, that would be kindly appreciated, because once you check out my Twitter, I will have a pinned tweet there where you can check out any and all of my links to any and every single thing. If you want to go get something for Headshot Energy, it will be there in the pinned tweet. If you want to check out my YouTube and subscribe, go ahead. It's there in the pinned tweet. And my Twitch will be in the pinned tweet as well. They're all linked. And I left a brief description of who I am there too. So if you guys want to sit down and read and see what I do for a living, go ahead. It's right there. Sorry I'm talking like this. I just woke up a little bit a while ago. And I refuse to talk normally because I don't want to be heard. Not because it's dead quiet in my house, but because I really don't want to be interrupted. I want to sound as if I haven't been awake and I just went back to bed. Nah, I'm just joking. I'm talking like this because I want to. I hope I don't sound too low, but anyways, let's get it. So without further ado, let me give you guys the warnings. I will not be covering the story of Dead Island 2, but rather the gameplay aesthetics. I will be covering only the gameplay aesthetics, the changes, differences, gripes, and hate, love, whatever you want to call it. I will be going over the different mechanics of the game, what's new and what changed. I will be going over all the most of the zombie variant types, or rather, I will give a quick summary of them. So without further ado, I will go ahead and start. In Dead Island 2, you now return, but this time not to an island, but rather LA. So that's just the brief summary. I'm not going to go over the story like I said. So let's jump into the one thing that's changed. The characters. Instead of the 5 characters from Dead Island Riptide and Dead Island, of course, returning to Dead Island Riptide, you have Sam, Jane, Logan, and John and Perna. Now, what's changed? In Dead Island 2, just like Dead Island, except for Dead Island, however, each character now has a set of their own attribution, which means they don't really have a preferred weapon type, but they somewhat do. It is a bit confusing, but they have their... Basically, what I'm trying to say is they have their own play style, if you will. In Dead Island 2, each one has their own, so I will now be going over, and we have 6 characters, and I will go over them in order. So first up is Amy. Who is Amy? Amy grew up in Los Angeles, and her stats are actually kind of good if you prefer to run around the map a lot quicker. So if you're into speedrunning, I'm pretty sure Amy would be the one for you, because Amy has the highest running, coming in at an astounding 5 agility, but she only suffers 1 in toughness and 2 in peak health, and the way it's ranked is 5 the highest, 1 the lowest, as you can obviously tell, and that's basically how it always goes. So bear with me. I'm not going to go over all the skills and attributes. I'm going to just give a quick summary of the highest one they have and then the lowest one they have. Next up is Jacob. He's a crit machine with a peak health of 5, and he has crit damage set of 3. Yeah, I think all of them are 3. He doesn't have too much resistance, and his agility, toughness, and health could be better. Danny has an exception of 5 peak health. Her stamina is an exception of 5, while she suffers from low health recovery. Ryan, with a strong 5 toughness, and he has a peak health he does have solid stamina, health recovery, and peak health stats of 3. And next up is Carla, which is the character I'm playing as right now, with 5 resilience, toughness of 4, and she has a solid recovery of 3. Bruno has a crit damage of 5, a 3 in stamina, health recovery, and he's good for agility. So that's the quick rundown of the characters. Those are their stats. Now let's talk about the gameplay. Obviously, as you're seeing above right now, I can do a lot of different things. So to flesh it all out, I'm gonna go one by one. So what's first on the list? We're gonna, you know what, as you heard already, I have went over the characters and their different attributes and skills, going over their agility and quick brief summaries. So we're going to look at this real quick. This is what we're going to focus on. Unlike Dead Island and Dead Island Riptide, they have revamped the skill tree. Instead of skill trees, you now have skill cards. And you start off with those two skill cards on the right, as you can see, off the bat. They don't need to be unlocked. These need to be unlocked. All of these cards can help change up your playstyle. The playstyle I'm going for is block health recovery and stam regen. What does that mean? Basically what that means is I am an autophage 3. We will go over autophage in a minute, but you have all of these cards you can choose from. First you will start off with only block. Block is the first one you will unlock unless you're a different character. It depends on the character you play as. Basically, I think block unlocks for everyone. So basically you will start off with only the ability first, and over time throughout the course of the game, once you hit the very end, you will unlock your first Newman card, which I believe is one of these cards. I forgot which one because I haven't really looked at the first one in a minute. I just slapped it on and left it at that, which I should have probably not done. But you will unlock first abilities, then Survivor, Slayer, and then Newman, and then over time you will, in Newman, I believe you will unlock your first autophage. And what is autophage? Let's look at the autophage real quick. Autophage is both a upgrade and downgrade. Not only will you balance the upgrade with the downgrade, you will get other things. You will get, for as you can read on the screen, you will get all of this and less, which means autophage tier 3 I do not recommend doing for any of you who are new to the game off the bat just yet. The only reason why I did it off the bat is because I built a skill tree capable of completely outweighing and destroying tier 3 to the point tier 3 is just nothing. And what do I mean by that? I have a whole skill tree dedicated to blocking and killing zombies to the point I can not only regain a large amount of HP, I will quite literally shrug off any and all attacks that can physically kill me. Once I hit that 0 HP mark, however, I will not die. You see that fury meter right there? That's right. Instead of dying, I will quite literally become invincible to any and all attacks. I can literally go down to 6 HP and less to literally, and then watch this. Wait for it. Once I get hit, I can simply do this, and then I will just regain the HP I need. And then I could just go around slicing and dicing zombies just to get back my fury, and I will be right back to full HP. So that is why I recommend first building up a nice skill tree to actually be able to help prevent you from dying too much on autophage tier 3, because in tier 3 you will not have a lot of fury. But I don't really use fury a lot. So let's talk about the fury. What's different about fury? Back in Dead Island 1, you had a skill tree dedicated to nothing but fury, and you could unlock it off the bat. That is a lot different and changed. In Dead Island 2, instead of being able to unlock fury, like I said, you have a whole different skill tree. So fury is given to you throughout a mission, a certain type of mission that I am not going to go over for the sake of spoilers. So anyways, let's talk about the next thing. What's different? Let's go over the XP set. Each zombie now has an XP set for them, and it can build up over time depending how many zombies you take out one at a time. So basically, instead of just getting a set XP for killing a regular zombie compared to a thug, Shamblers now give out 15 XP, and then Walkers give out 20, etc, etc. That's basically how it goes now. Each zombie quite literally has their own XP set, and it depends which one you take out, and it depends on how many you take out. The XP will build up if you can take out a whole horde of them, and that's basically how it works in this game. It's not too much of an issue, but it is a slight issue I will get into later on in the video. Let's go for crafting differences. That is actually the biggest change I have seen in Dead Island in the course of how long, in the course of the few years I had a long time. So basically in Dead Island 1, you didn't have to really, well, you did have to look, but you didn't have to look too much at it. So basically in Dead Island 1 you had blueprints, of course, but they were not just any set blueprints. You didn't have to really think about a set limit of items you could carry around. You could just pick up the items and keep going. So you could quite literally have 99 plus stacks of batteries or bleach or detergent, wires, lithium batteries or whatever. But in this game that's not the case. In this game you have a crafting table as usual, but instead you now have to quite literally think about what you want to fabricate and or make. In the fabrication menu, you now have a set of everything. You can only carry 99 things at a time. You can no longer stack them up, because once you stack them up, they start dropping on the floor. Why? Because now there's a limit. 99 is the limit, like I said, but there's a difference to the crafting. Can you guess what it is? That's right. If you look at the bottom right, bottom corner, if you look at literally the middle bottom, you can now see that there is perks and the returning, of course, different types of item elements you can equip, and then you also have set perks. Each weapon comes with set perks now, and let's go ahead and delve into this. You have 3 stages of, instead of the typical 4, you now have only 3, but there's a reason why. Each one is different. We're going to start with uncommon and work our way up. Uncommon only gives you a minor of said effect, and it still applies, while all the way up to rare superior, it gives you a major damage boost to said effect. And you have 4 types of different effects. You have bleeding, you have catapult, impactor, I mean. You also have liquidator, you have electricity, fire, you have contagion, liquidator. Yes, and now you have perks. There are different types of perks you can get throughout the game. You have uncommons, rares, superiors, like I said, but each one is different. I'm not going to delve too much in this, but this time there's a different type of parts you can get. You can now get zombie parts. These are grabbed from special infected. So with these out of the way, I don't really want to delve too much into these, but each perk has their own benefits. And let's say, for example, I'm going to go over a quick few of them. Mind blowing. If you land a quick headshot and you kill a zombie with a head, it triggers a forceful explosion, like it says. Or do you want more health for each kill? Killing the zombies gives a chance to regain health. Or maybe you want elements, infectious. Now you can cause a whole area of zombies to get bleeding effect too, and you can cause the additional bleeding damage to it. So that's just the slight tip of the barrel. So let's go over fixed perks. Each weapon has a fixed perk, like this one for example will cost a cloud, or maybe let's go with this one. Sturdy handle, increased durability. These come equipped already to the weapon, but there's another additional add-on to it. So let me go to my storage real quick. You now have a storage locker everywhere you go. So let's say I want to use a Peggy, for example. Let's go with actually something extremely under level. Let's say I want to pull out this shotgun. It ain't the same level as me. Well, that's actually changed. Instead of having to worry about levels, now you can just do this. Uh-oh, hold on. Instead of having to worry about the levels, now you can just do this. Boom. Level 30 Fenrir's Howl has now been equipped. And the power has been adjusted to my level, and the gun is now my level, so I can use it whenever the hell I want to use it. So anyways, that actually is useful. So let's say you have a certain weapon you love but you don't want to get rid of it. If you save up the money and you want to upgrade it to your level, you now can. So no more having to go out looking for that actual weapon again. You can now just quickly upgrade it back to your level and just keep it. You don't have to waste your time grinding, although sometimes the same weapon will drop from zombies, but you could just go ahead and use your own weapons constantly. You don't have to worry about this. This bat right here I've had since level 20, and I kept upgrading it with me because I liked it. So now we're gonna go over the zombies all around. You now have have different types of zombies. You have zombies with wires. You have ride armored zombies. You also have fucking these guys over here. The zombie types are different, and now they're back and better than ever. So let's go over the first one right here, which is the slobber. The slobber is a variation of the floater, as obvious. It comes in different apex types, such as you have one that can cause bleeding, you have one that drops toxic, which is, I believe, the regular slobber. You also have a fire slobber. There is no electricity slobber, which would be interesting to see, unless I have not read into one yet, which I'm pretty sure if they would add that would be a catastrophic event, because, you know, the whole floor would practically become very electrified, and then if you have a chem bomb equipped, it would also completely ruin your day. So let's talk about the others. We have butchers returning. Butchers now come in two different types: regular and then barbed. Barbed. Sorry, I was about to stutter for a minute. Barbed. Fuck. Barbed. Fuck. Barbed butchers. Fuck, can't even say it. Vicious butchers now have bleed resistance, blunt and fire damage, but it's immune to bleed. Sorry, I could not say it. I was actually having a stroke for a second for some reason. I genuinely don't know what happened. This time you have those two, you have these two butchers, and now you have screamers. Screamers are the same type of shriekers from Dead Island Riptide, but they make a return. In this game, you have two types: regular and then voltaic, which obviously gives out a shock scream. You have three types of slobbers. You have regular slobbers, putrefied slobbers, and you also have, like I said, fire slobbers. Bursters make a return, and they don't have any variations. You have crushers, which come in regular and fire, and you have these guys. What is this guy? Well, if he'll pop up, if the guy would kindly show his face. He does not want to show his face at the moment. Mutators. These guys are completely and utterly fucking nightmare fuel. Like, if you run into your first one, you will understand why I hate these guys. These guys are a complete and total catastrophe to deal with. Not only can they launch spikes at you, they can ground pound. They can also slam, they can grapple you and cause a bleeding damage as you are still grappled. Which means not only do you have to quickly throw them off of you, you cannot linger. Unlike every other zombie with barbed wire on them, these guys will punish you on purposefully lingering. Each time you sit there holding on to them is more bleed effect taking place. So not only do they have three abilities normally, which is the ground pound, launch spike, and then the grapple, they get an additional passive ability. In my opinion, I would call it passive because they can do square or I think X button. The quicker you kick it off of you is the quicker you can spend completely not letting it kill you off. And that's just my physical opinion. I recommend not on purposely giving it a big fucking hug, because you know that's terrible. That's a bad no thing to do. But anyways, what about the Shamblers? Why did I not bring up the Shamblers? Well, the Shamblers, well, they don't really have much to them. But we do have two different types of walkers. We have burning, shocking, and spiky. These are the two different variations, burning and spiky. You also have burning, shocking, and spiking runners. You have also the insect swarm walkers, the riot gear walkers, the caustic walkers, hydration walkers, incendiary walkers, grenadier walkers, a lot of walkers. There's a lot of walkers and walkers. There's a lot of walkers, basically. Like you have more variations of walkers than you do runners. It's just walkers and walkers and walkers and walkers and lots of walkers, more walkers. And you also have this thing. Yeah, this thing can be found. It doesn't want to show its face for some reason, but it's there. It's the Eat Courier. It's like Uber, but on your back. They got food. That's nice. Just throw a Ninja Star of Shock at it, and you'll kill it off and get food from it. But anyways, that's one of the things. So what about the other things? Let's talk about the gripes I have. In Dead Island 2, since you have a fixed set XP for each variation and non-variation of infected, comes at a toll. In my playthrough of Dead Island 2, if you guys remember, I was struggling throughout most of the missions to even complete it. Why? Well, because of the fact that I went through the whole thing blind and unwanting, and basically did not want to do the side quest. That made me punished. That gave me a punishment. Not only did I go into most areas unknowingly underleveled, and knowingly underleveled, by the way, that made it a lot harder for me to survive against most zombie attacks, and therefore caused me to die a repeated amount of 5 times over and over again. Now, my only issue is, I feel as if in my physical opinion, I feel like sometimes, I feel like I was forced in a way to go back and have to do side quests, because side quests give you a lot of XP, and they also help you level up a lot quicker. And on top of that, killings, it felt like I had to go back and do side quests, because in my opinion, the side quest is what gave off the most XP and gave me less amount of grind set to do side quests. Maybe that's the thing you want to wait for after the game. So yeah, in a way, I felt like I was forced to have to go back and just do side quests, even though in Dead Island I never really did side quests that much. There was a few instances where I did do a few side quests in Dead Island, but that was because the reward, I wanted to check out the reward, or I was just going out of my way to get a certain weapon, or it was because it was a blueprint I could have gotten, and I did do it because I wanted the blueprint, because it was a better version of that blueprint. Sorry, that was a mouthful, but you get the drift. In Dead Island 2, and another thing I don't like and I really wish to see is I want more zombies on my screen. I can understand that the PS4, which I do play on by the way, so do not shame me, I do not want the PS5 because I am not wasting half a grand. Yes, that is literally how much it costs. I check out my local Walmart that I work at. It's $559 for a PS5. I am not wasting a quarter to $1,000 for a PS5. And that's final. I am not doing it. At least not yet. I don't want to. But anyways, that's basically what I'm going to talk about right now. There's a lack of zombies. So let's say right now, because I'm going to Ocean Avenue, because I feel I wanted to. This is another area, by the way. I'll go over the areas here in a minute. As you can see, there are a few zombies in here, right? There's like there should be a few. Yep, yeah, there they are. See, look, as you can see here, there's like a good majority amount of zombies, right? Especially for an enclosed space, right? This is a proper amount of zombies. This is what you would probably see in zombies, like in any mall, like just a good amount of zombies, or like a massive amount of zombies. But this is just the inside. I'll show you what the outside looks like. Are you ready? The minute I walk outside, emptiness. There's like enough free room to run around, but there's just, it's like, why is it so empty out in the streets? There are no zombies to be seen anywhere or everywhere, and for a game that is this open, it's kind of an issue, but at the same time not too much of an issue. I feel like I don't know. I just feel like I would like to see a bit more zombies anywhere I go. Like, let's say I run back here. Maybe there's a few zombies scattered like right there, or maybe I run a bit further in. There's one zombie right there, but maybe there's a few standing right in this pathway that blocks me off and makes me fight them. I want to feel like I have to fight zombies anywhere I go. You know, it just feels like there's a lack of things to. There's like a lack of zombies to kill. It's not, like I said, it's not too much of an issue in some cases, like closed off spaces, or maybe in buildings where there's like a few good amount of zombies, but there's not too many zombies. But in an open area like this, I feel like there should be a few zombies scattered about to where you can actually run right into them at any given moment and then have to be like, well, gotta fight, I guess, and then just use your weapons to slaughter them down. And that's my only issue I have, and I know a lot of other people said it too, but I just feel like at some points you just gotta fight them off and then have to actually, you know, take the time out of your day to do all that. But like I said, closed spaces like this are fine because like you can still run into them, but it's just not too many. And if you like open a door or whatever, see, look, you have zombies right here as well. Look at that. Wow, zombies. Zombies all around. You got the crushing walker, you got the hazmat walkers and all that. Like, it's just not too much. It's not too bad, but it's not, you know, that many either. So yeah, that's my only concern is why is there why is there like a small amount of zombies but not too many zombies, you know? Oh, speak of the devil, there's the mutator I was going to show you guys. This thing right here I really fucking hate. But it's easy to take care of. Just give it a quick old shot, go behind it, do this. Oh, fuck, I'm down. Oh, it died. Anyways, that was a quick way to kill the mutator. Enjoy that quick speed run of me killing it. I got the world record. That was like 2 to 3 seconds. Anyways, back to what I was saying. It's not too much of an issue in some scenarios, but other scenarios I just feel as if I really want there to be zombies, you know? I have that urge to just run around and find a zombie and then kill it off. But that's what I want to see. If they update the game and actually put a few more zombies, not too much though to where the PS4 can't handle it, that would be kind of nice. Anyways, on to my next thing I wanted to talk about. This I wanted to save for a bit last. Jerry cans and interactable environments. What do I mean by this? Well, you're in for a treat. Because in Dead Island 2, you now have these things called batteries, fire, gasoline cans, and water cans. You also have these propane tanks right here, which, if you hit it... Look at that boy go. Ah, fuck. There's another one. But yeah, that's basically what you have. You have interactable environments to where you can do whatever you please. But yeah, that's basically what you like to see. And in some spots of the map, you have fuel jerry cans. And can you do with them? Well, I'm glad you're wondering that. If you find a fuel jerry can, what I like to do, please do not do this 2 times though. I kick it once, cause some damage to it. You see that leakage right there? Then I pick it up and I just walk around with it. This helps me create a line of gasoline. And what can I do with it? Well, if I wanted to, I could just drop the jerry can down and kick it again, light everything on fire and run away. So that's why I like jerry cans in a way. It helps you take care of a large group of zombies if you really have to. But other times, they're just scattered about so frequently that they just feel like, you know, you find them once and then you find them again and again and again and again, and you just find them scattered about all over the place, which is not too much of an issue in my opinion. But other times, you just find them in spots you don't really need them. Here I had a water zombie in front of me, I believe. And basically what I did was I set it ablaze with electricity. That's basically what water cans do. If you get a water can and you start spreading water all over the place, you can toss either A, an electric star on it, electric throwing star, or B, you can simply just use an electric type weapon like this one and just slap it and then just have it, you know, go set all the zombies around in electric. But basically that's just a quick rundown of jerry cans and the electric and all that stuff. You get all that stuff. But let's talk about the other things. Let's talk about what let's talk about the gameplay aesthetics. The gameplay is actually, when this game first released, I was expecting it to crash a few times, but no, actually for once the game ran out quite well. By the way, I forgot to mention that you can scrap weapons and get back the items you used. But that's if you don't want the weapon anymore. Instead of you can either A, sell it, or B, just scrap it. But back to what I was saying, the gameplay is actually smooth. There's sometimes lag spikes, but other times it runs quite damn well. I haven't had any scenarios where the game crashed on me, except for a few occasions where the game just crashed because of either A, it was me loading into an online session and something happened in that session to where it crashed, or B, it just crashed at either, I don't know if it was from lagging too hard or it was just because it crashed for unknown reasons. I really don't know the reasons. One of the reasons I can guarantee though was because I was loading into an online session and something must have happened to cause the game to crash. Let's talk about the onlines actually. Let's talk about that. At the moment, online sessions are currently hosted by next-gen consoles, which means current gens cannot host. This gen, aka the old gens, cannot host online sessions. Trust me on this, I tried and failed. I even asked the Dead Island 2 community in the Discord server, hey, how come I can't host an online session? Well, that's because it's only hosted by next gen. So sorry to all you old gens out there who want to play with your friends, you cannot at the moment, but I think it's being worked on. I am not promising you anything. Do not take my word for it. But that's the quick rundown of Dead Island 2. It's just a fun zombie slaying game, and it improved on quite a lot of things, and it also suffers from a few things. I did believe I missed on a few things, so let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about the weapon details. If you want to check out the stats of your weapons, each weapon has their own set of description, especially the legendary weapons. So let's go ahead and look at those. Let's look at Emma's Wrath. As you can see in the description, there is a bit of detail of what it is. Sam B's Pride and Joy, a sledgehammer crossed with a shotgun. Now you can take on his mantle as the ultimate zombie slayer. Or let's go with this one. Let's go with this one over here, the blood body count. Spray the lead and sweat out the horde of zombies into a fine pink mist. 80s action hero style. Each weapon has their own description, especially this one right here, the sword wielded by Kim Canavery in Tomb of the Tiger Queen. Cuts so cleanly, zombies only notice they're dead when they fall apart. Or this one, smash those meatballs out of here with this metal bat. And last but not least, let's go with a random one. Abuela's Ashes. Let's go with this one. This is a character weapon, by the way. Carla couldn't leave her Abuela's Ashes behind, so now her grandmother is helping her bust skulls from beyond the grave. Each weapon, especially the character weapons, by the way, you'll see if it's a character weapon, not because it references said character. Like Abuela's Ashes is for Carla, and then the pitchfork is for Amy. There's a pitchfork weapon for Amy, by the way. Well, it's not for Amy, if you know what I mean, but it has Amy's name in it. So basically, that's what I'm about referencing. But anyways, if I could. This game is actually pretty damn fun, and I would recommend getting it. If you guys want to get it, go ahead. It's available in either Hell A edition, which comes with an expansion pass, gold weapons pack, and a lot of other things like character customization packs and all that good stuff. And the expansion pass lets you get a few items for free. But anyways, I think that's a good enough description of the game so far. I think I covered basically anything and everything. I'm pretty sure I missed a few things, but hey, I really don't know if I did or not, but I'm pretty sure I did a good amount of it. I'm pretty sure some of the stuff is self-explanatory as well. Like most of the gameplay did cover what I could talk about, so that is my brief run view of Dead Island 2 and what it offers. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, and if you guys would be kind enough, go ahead and drop me a sub. Check out my Twitter after this video goes off, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye-bye.